Hey guys, Steve Trowbridge here. So earlier today, I went to see the second Conjuring, the sequel to the first Conjuring. I made a video some while back that, in my opinion, I thought the Conjuring was pretty overrated. Um, Generally, I thought the first Conjuring was a good movie, but a highly cliched one. I mean, really, I just thought it. I mean, in my honest opinion, I thought it was a glorified haunted house movie. I mean, you've seen one haunted house movie, you've seen them all. That's how I felt about The Conjuring. But I actually I didn't plan to see the second Conjuring. I would have gone to see another movie before I saw that one, but it turns out that the choices were limited, so I picked The Conjuring too. So this movie, like the first one, it has gotten a lot of hype. It's gotten a lot of good reviews. People have even said it's like redefined horror. It's like a breakthrough in horror, for today's age, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I'll get into that. So yeah. So this Conjuring, the second Conjuring, it's based on, of course, another one of the Lorraine's case, Ed and Lorraine Warren's case, as the first one was, and it's based on a true story. And the reason I use quotation marks when I say true story is because, I'm sure that with these movies that are based on true stories, they've probably taken some liberties with the actual story that took place. But the cool thing about this movie, before I really get into it, is that at the end of the movie, after the movie was actually over, it actually did give pictures of the actual family involved in the actual case, and I believe actual recordings. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so went into this movie with a pretty open mind. I tried to have an open mind about it. And so this case takes place in Nottingham, England. I know it takes place in England. I think the exact location is Nottingham, but so basically, this family of this wife, single mother, because the husband was a jackass pretty much and left. There's four kids, and one of them, two of them, there's two daughters and two sons. The two daughters get a Ouija board and they start playing around with it, and sure enough, it opens up something and it invites a demon into the house. And then one of them ends up getting possessed by it. And so eventually the Lorraines are get called up, which Lorraine Warren is also having visions of her own of this creepy nun thing, this creepy nun demon thing. That's how I can best describe it. And it looks kind of like Marilyn Manson. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. That's pretty much how it looks, though, like Marilyn Manson in a nun suit, and that is also a demon. But she's having visions of her own. She has like a vision of Ed. I guess this is kind of a spoiler alert, but she has visions of Ed. Ed Warren, her husband, basically, that her husband dying, and spoiler alert, he doesn't die, obviously, but you probably already knew that. But anyways, shit's going down with them too, and it also showed, before the actual movie started, it showed Ed and Lorraine Warren at the Amityville house in the Amityville case, and after that, Lorraine was like, this is as close to hell as I want to get, so she didn't want to do any more cases. But of course, she doesn't want to do this case at first, but she gets talked into it. I mean, Ed's down, he's down for it, but I mean, he wants to make sure that he's, listening to her as well. But they go. I mean, you wouldn't expect them not to go. They're gonna go, obviously. So they go there, and yeah, and shit goes down. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna give away of the plot. Overall, I thought this movie was a, I don't want to say huge, but it was definitely an improvement, in my opinion, over the first one. The first 45 to 50 minutes, maybe a little bit less than that, I would say was a huge jump scare fest. I mean, just filled with jump scares. Like, I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Is this whole movie going to be just jump scares? But then after about the 45 to 50 minute mark, it actually starts getting good. We start getting, an actual suspenseful atmosphere. We start to kind of become attached to the characters, because the characters start to get some development. Of course, we already knew Ed and Lorraine from the previous movie, but this new family. Boy, I actually like this new family better than the family in the first one for some reason. I just think they're I don't know, maybe more developed or something. I don't know. I just like this family better. But yeah. So after like I said, after the 50-minute mark, about when it's just a jump scare fest, pretty much, it gets better. There are a few jump scares, but it's like the jump scares after that are like way better, because there was a jump scare that really got me. Like, I was like this, like it actually got me, whereas none of the other jump scares I don't think even made me jump. So yeah. What else? What else? I will give it this. That nun thing that I was describing earlier, that was pretty freaky. Like, that was pretty disturbing. I'll give it that. And then there's also this other spirit who you think is evil, but really, it's almost like he's being conned by the demon to do these things. It's a little bit confusing. I'll just let you guys figure that one out for yourself when you go to see the movie, or if you go to see the movie. But yeah, so, and it goes, like I said, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I mean, if you've seen the first Conjuring, then, I mean, you probably know how this one will go, too. So, I do have a few complaints, though. Overall, I did like this movie. I enjoyed it a lot better than the first one. But, like I said, this movie is getting a lot of hype, and it's getting a lot of good reviews, which it does deserve good reviews, but I don't think it deserves all the hype that it's getting. People, like I said, people are saying it's redefining horror. I would disagree with that highly, because, like I said, this is a good movie. Again, if you've watched A Haunting, or if you've seen a lot of haunted house movies, then this one probably won't be much different. It just has a shit ton of jump scares, and it does have a decent story. I mean, like I said, it is a good movie, but still, I mean, it's not really a lot of. It's not a whole lot different from any other, haunted house, paranormal movie that you've seen, so I wouldn't say it redefines horror, but, maybe one of the few good horror movies out right now, maybe, I'd say that, but redefining horror, no. I don't think this movie is anywhere near as iconic as The Exorcist, or, movies like that, or even Poltergeist, and Poltergeist isn't necessarily as scary as this one, but it's still like more of an iconic movie that involves the paranormal stuff than this one, in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. And there was one scene. Actually, there was two scenes. There was one scene where I swear it was almost like a replica from the first movie, where the girl is sitting in bed and the door's open and she has the flashlight and she's freaking out. She thinks there's going to be something that pops out of the corner. That was an exact same scene in the first movie. I remember that. There was a scene almost exactly similar to that, and I'm like, did they copy this scene from the first one and put it in here, too, to get the same effect, or what? But yeah, so there was that, and then there was a scene where, I went to see this movie with my friend. He said that he saw this in the trailer. I did not see this in the trailer. I really didn't, honestly. But there was the room where the daughter slept in. They locked it off, and the mother put a shitload of crosses on the walls. And when they introduced that room, I'm like, I bet you there's going to be a scene where all those crosses get turned upside down. And sure enough, I was right. There was a scene where the girl gets dragged into that room, and all the crosses turn upside down. So, a little bit predictable, but that's not always a bad thing. A movie can be predictable, but it can still be a very good movie. So, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed this movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be. And, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it to you. I couldn't say that about the first one, but if you haven't seen the first one, and I am recommending this to you, you should probably see the first one, or not. You don't really need to see the first one to see this one. I mean, maybe, but you could get away with seeing the second one without seeing the first one, so. But yeah, that's it for this review. Good movie. Check it out, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.